It was found in the garage, tucked among old parts and tools. The main piece is a brass tube with evenly spaced notches around the edge. There's a cover or cap that fits on top, though it doesn't seal tightly. Running through the tube is a copper rod, ending in a worn wooden handle. The whole thing feels like it might just be one piece of a larger mechanism, maybe something electrical. What could this have been a part of? It's called a finger wave, done with nothing more than a comb and some setting gel. It used to be a requirement to know in order to get a cosmetology license in the US. It may still be, although it's hard to understand why. My dad said that when he went to take the test for his license, he took his sister-in-law as his model. He had to give her a haircut and blow dry, show that he could roll a perm and regular brush rollers and do finger waves. According to him, she had the straightest, most unbendable hair on the planet. He was thankful for powerful gel. He passed the written and practical exams on the first try, one of 30 people to take the test that day, and the only one to pass. That was in 1976. He hasn't worked in a salon since about 1978, saying salons are full of drama, catty, backstabbing women. It was found in a drawer of an old hut, about 8 to 12 inches long, made from injection-molded plastic and stamped with Buchsteiner and made in Germany. So it's definitely from before reunification in 1990. The two halves could be pulled apart by opening it all the way, and when closed, the rounded fingertips just rest against each other. No sharp edges, no locking grooves, just soft plastic blobs on the ends, which ruled out anything for gripping tightly or cutting. Any idea what this could have been used for? This is a pair of cooking tongs, a super handy tool in almost any kitchen. You can use them for all sorts of tasks, like pulling toast from the toaster or serving salad. They give you control without having to touch hot or messy food directly. It was found in an abandoned factory, heavy as anything, roughly 25 to 30 pounds of solid cast iron. A big crank handle with a square recess about 1.5 inches wide. The casting reads 44-108. But that doesn't mean much unless you've got a parts catalog from decades ago. Any idea what machine this could have been a part of? This is a removable crank from a machine tool, most likely used to manually turn a lead screw, adjust a table, or raise and lower a mechanism. These cranks are designed to be quickly attached or detached from a shaft or handle socket, especially on older lathes, milling machines, or presses. It's designed to prevent interference during machine operation, especially in systems with power feeds. A permanently fixed crank can spin while the machine is running, which could create discomfort or obstacles for the operator. It was found among old stuff, something that's hard to describe, just a plain object with a red handle, flared at the end where there are teeth or ridges. The metal looks like iron, heavy and worn. The handle has no clear markings, just faded paint. On the metal part near the Made in France stamp, there's some worn lettering that might say ALO or ALD. Any idea what this could be? This is a coupe persil herb grinder made in France. It's a hand-cranked kitchen tool designed specifically for finely chopping parsley or other fresh herbs. The crank turns a set of small internal blades that mince the herbs efficiently, making it a favorite in many traditional French kitchens. This one turned up in the shop. No markings, no labels, just a plain old tool. It's got a 5-inch wooden handle, worn smooth, and a 12-inch aluminum piece attached to it. Lightweight, under a pound, and no obvious function. Any ideas what this could have been for? This is a lid prop, a simple but handy tool used to keep a grill lid or pot lid propped open. It helps regulate heat or let steam escape while you're cooking, and it's especially useful when you need both hands free but still want to keep the lid from slamming shut. This one came from a farm estate sale. The rounded part has a sharp edge, almost like a blade. The handle can pivot, but it seems like it's been stuck in the same spot for a while. Any idea what this thing was made for? This is a tile shovel. In the old days, they used to drain fields with short clay pipes called tile. You would lay them end to end a couple feet underground, and the water would seep in the gaps between them and run down them to the ditch. Once you dig down, you would use that shovel to get the last little bit of dirt out and get a smooth bottom on your trench. It was found in a thrift store, mixed in with a bunch of old tools. About a foot long, with a smooth wooden handle and a small metal wheel at the end. There's also a little hook or catch right beside the wheel. It doesn't feel like a general-purpose tool, more like something made for a very specific job. Any idea what this could be for? This is a control throttle handle for a train. My dad had an old American Flyer model train set, and the power transformer had a similar handle. The handle was detachable if you loosened the screw, and hooked under a little loop built into the transformer. You'd push down to start the electricity, lift to disconnect power completely, and swivel to increase or decrease the throttle. It was picked up at a car boot sale, just a small brass cylinder about 6 inches long, with a wooden handle. The markings are simple: 2, 4, 6, and 8 along the side, with the letters DR stamped near the 8. The wood part lifts out, but there's nothing attached to the end of it. No moving parts inside, no obvious mechanism. Any idea what this was used for? This is a black powder measure, an antique tool used for reloading muzzle-loading firearms. The markings, like DR, likely stand for drams, an old unit of measurement used for gunpowder. You'd pour the powder into the measure, then use it to load the correct amount into a muzzleloader. Not made for modern shotgun shells, this would have been used long before those came around. It was shaped like a leg, with a wooden handle that felt surprisingly light. There was wear on the end near the handle, like it had been pushed against something over and over, but the toe part was still smooth, untouched by friction. No moving parts, no markings. Any idea what this could have been used for? This is a rat tail file holder or guide. The thin tail of the file fits into the groove at the back, while the little front foot presses the file against the workpiece. It's a clever tool for keeping the file parallel to the surface, especially handy when you're working one-handed or need consistent pressure and angle. It was found at a disused racetrack, a strange little tool with a wooden handle, a metal tube, and what looks like an Allen key fixed tightly into one end. The L-shaped piece doesn't move. It's held in place with a small screw. Around the base of the handle is a metal ring, and inside that, 4 small, evenly spaced holes have been drilled into the wood, each one just a bit smaller than the Allen key-like piece. Any idea what this could have been for? It's used to score a clean, shallow line parallel to the edge of a leather piece. That line can be purely decorative, or it can serve as a guide for stitching, making the finished piece look more precise and professional. It was found in a mixed lot of tools and supplies at an estate auction, one of those rural finds where you're never quite sure if something came from a boat, a logging camp, or a long-forgotten machine shop. The tool has a turned wooden handle that ends in a bulb shape, and from that extends a 2-pronged metal spike. It's about 10 inches long and feels lightweight in the hand. The finish is rough and a little worn, nothing fancy, definitely more utilitarian than decorative. Plenty of signs it was actually used. What could this have been used for? This is an antique Plum ball weeder, a hand tool used for gardening. The rounded handle and metal prongs were designed for pulling out weeds with minimal disturbance to surrounding plants. It was found in the grass beside a large corporate building. The tool looks like a crowbar and can swing 180 degrees. The top has a bend that might be a handle or a reduced end designed to fit into something else. Near the bottom, there is a red part that swivels and lines up with the rest of the tool. It seems like it could be part of a larger mechanism or device. Any idea what this could have been used for? This is a grate or manhole remover. It's a specialized tool used by utility workers to lift and remove heavy corners like storm drain gates or manhole lids. The hooked end fits into the holes or slots of the cover, allowing for leverage and safer handling without damaging the surrounding surface. It was found along some old brass knockers and handles, but this piece didn't quite match the rest. The wooden handle looks worn smooth from years of use, with a dark patina that only comes from age and handling. At one end, two metal prongs curve inward toward each other, and where they meet the handle there's a bit of ornate engraving. Not overly decorative, but enough to suggest it wasn't just a rough tool. Any idea what this was used for? This is a hairpin. Like combs, hairpins can serve both functional and decorative purposes. They're often used to secure hairstyles like buns, braids, and top knots. This particular style from India is believed to have been used not just to hold hair in place, but also for removing tangles or possibly even for drying the hair. It was found with a washer and a cap nut already on it, though it's unclear if they're actually part of the tool or just happen to be stuck on there. From end to end, it's 9 inches long. Half of that is the metal rod. The other half is a black plastic handle with "Back to Nature" printed on it in white. The rod is metal and attached to the handle. It does not twist or pull out. The end of the metal rod has a lip. Then the lip is completely threaded. It is blunt and does not come to a point. Any idea what this might have been used for? This is a paint scraper. It is used to remove paint, varnish, or other coatings from surfaces like wood, metal, or plaster. The flat, sharp-edged blade helps lift off layers cleanly, making it a handy tool for refinishing or restoration work. This fairly heavy tool was found during a clean-out of an old house. It has a solid handle that slides up and down the body, and the end looks like it's designed to grip or lever something. It feels like it might have been used in mechanical or industrial work, but it's not something you'd typically see in a regular toolbox. Any idea what this could be? This is an antique cast iron star slide hammer nail puller. Tools like this were designed to grip the head of a nail tightly while the sliding weight, or the hammer, delivers force to pull the nail out with minimal effort. Often used in construction or demolition work, especially on old wooden floors or framing where nails were deeply embedded.